Hello, everyone. I am Li Ying from number 3 Vocational Technical School of Nanning. Welcome to this mini lecture. Today, we will learn about anti-phishing attack methods. First, let's review what we learned in the last lesson. In the last lesson, we learned about the definition of hackers and the functions of firewalls, mastered the attack methods and countermeasures against hacker intrusion, and understood the principles of data encryption and firewall technology. This mini-lecture consists of 4 main parts. 1. The meaning of phishing. 2. Forms of phishing. 3. Prevention of phishing. 4. Analysis of phishing cases. The teaching objectives of this mini-lecture are: 1. To understand the meaning of phishing. 2. To be able to describe the forms of phishing and its preventive measures. 3. To enhance students' awareness of information network security, fostering good moral and scientific perspectives. As the likelihood of intrusion attacks exploiting system vulnerabilities and software flaws diminishes, phishing has gradually become a favored method of attack among hackers. Meanwhile, both network-related client software and large websites have begun to recognize that phishing has become a serious issue and are actively implementing defenses. First, let's learn about the first part, the meaning of phishing. Phishing is one of the methods of social engineering attacks, which can be simply described as obtaining a victim's trust and response through falsified information. Given the explosive growth of online information, people often find it difficult to distinguish between true and false information. Launching phishing attacks in a network environment is a very feasible method of attack. What are the forms of phishing? Let's look at the second part, forms of phishing. From an attack perspective, phishing can be divided into the following 2 types. 1. Deceiving victims by forging information with probabilistic credibility. The term probabilistic credibility refers logically to having a certain probability of making someone trust and respond. In principle, attackers use information with probabilistic credibility to launch attacks. Such information coincidentally matches the victim's level of trust within that probability, leading the victim to directly trust and respond to such information. 2. Attacking through identity deception. Attackers must possess certain information and exploit the trust relationships between individuals. By forging identities and using these trust relationships to create fake information, they ultimately gain the victim's trust and response. Personal information is highly attractive to hackers because it allows them to impersonate victims and carry out fraudulent financial transactions, thereby obtaining economic benefits. Victims often suffer significant financial losses or have all their personal information stolen and used for criminal purposes. Having understood the meaning and forms of phishing, how should we protect ourselves in our daily lives? Let's now discuss the third part, prevention of phishing. The prevention of phishing can be divided into the following 2 aspects. 1. Restricting the resources utilized by phishing attacks. Generally, the resources exploited in phishing attacks are controllable. For instance, web vulnerabilities can be directly patched by web service providers, email services can use reverse domain name resolution to alert users when they receive anonymous emails, and IM software providers can block the dissemination of phishing URL links through their platforms. 2. Protecting from the perspective of network users and publishers' behavior habits. For example, regarding browser vulnerabilities, everyone must apply patches to defend against phishing attacks that exploit client software vulnerabilities. Various security software vendors can also offer functionalities to patch client software vulnerabilities. At the same time, major websites have an obligation to protect all users' privacy and to remind all users to prevent phishing, thereby enhancing user awareness of security. Finally, let's examine a case of phishing. Case: At 8 p.m. on January 26, 2021, a student surnamed Zhang received a text message from a certain number, claiming that an e-token from a bank needed to be upgraded and directing him to the website bo-kokg.com for the upgrade process. The victim followed the steps on this website, which were identical to the usual procedure for logging into the bank's official website. At the final step, a countdown appeared, instructing the victim to re-enter his information. After entering it 3 times consecutively, the victim assumed it was a network issue and ceased the operation. The next day, when the victim logged into the bank's website he had bookmarked, he discovered that 9,952 yuan had been stolen from his account. Analysis: in the above case, criminals set up a fake bank website. When users entered the incorrect web address, they were redirected to this counterfeit site. Once the user entered their account number and password, these details could potentially be captured by criminals, leading to unauthorized access to their accounts. Besides establishing fake bank websites, criminals also send out a large number of emails containing Trojan viruses. These emails often lure users with content about winning prizes, consultancy, or account verification, prompting them to enter financial account numbers and passwords. With false information as bait, users are enticed into a trap. If a user logs into their online banking using a computer infected with such malware, their account numbers and passwords could be stolen by criminals, resulting in financial loss. That's all for the mini lecture today. Next, we will summarize this lesson. In this lesson, we understood the meaning and forms of phishing and mastered the methods of preventing phishing. Finally, to reinforce our learning, I've prepared some exercises for you. I hope you will complete them diligently to internalize the knowledge we've covered. This concludes the mini lecture today. Thank you, everyone.